Tesla has caught some serious upside momentum. What a year it's having. I want to talk about it in detail in this video. So in order to talk about where we're at now with Tesla, let's talk about where it was. So this is a 1-year chart. Look at how nasty this thing looked. Made a double top right around 315 and sold off aggressively. What an aggressive downtrend. And this looked pretty bad, right around 100. But once again, whenever something looks at its worst, a lot of times that's where it can reverse. In my opinion, I was thinking if this thing gets below 100, who knows how low it can go, but it didn't even get to 100. Found a bottom at 101.81, and look at this insane move higher since. Had a really strong rally up into 200 area, got above it, below it, then back above. So just a really big area of resistance. Had a gap down, found some support, eventually got back over that 200. Also happened to be the 200 SMA on the daily chart. And now that it's trading above that 200, now well above it, it's caught momentum to the upside and trading around $271 per share. The overall market's been really strong the last little bit, but if we're just breaking down the details of Tesla alone, this is a year to date. Check out this percentage. Up 150%, which is insane. So far, 2023 has been unreal for Tesla specifically. Who knows if that continues, but I want to go over some of the technicals and some news-driven events that are coming up soon. So before I get into all the technicals, let's highlight this because this is going to be very important. Tesla's earnings. It is not confirmed its next earnings publication date, but the company's estimated earnings date is Wednesday, July 19th, 2023. So that's going to be a big day. So this is something to make note of because especially a stock like Tesla, it's very volatile. On earnings, it can have major upside or downside moves, and depending on how that stock reacts, it could set the foundation for what happens for the rest of the year. Now let's break down the technicals. And in order to see it very clearly, I wanted to look at a weekly chart, just a much bigger time frame, and why I think 300 is going to be a major level. Now the reason why is because it kind of peaked at 300 over here, sold off aggressively, and then finally found some support, made its way back to 300, big breakout above 300, hit a high of 414.50, bounced back to 300, and it's just kind of been going above and below that for a little bit before it finally found some resistance, sold off aggressively since, and now look at the weekly chart. This thing has clearly caught momentum to the upside. It's above all the moving averages, the 9 EMA, the 20 SMA, the 200 SMA, and the 50 SMA. And it got above this 218, which was a prior area of resistance, has caught a lot of momentum to the upside. The reason why I think 300 is going to be a big area is because that is a psychological whole number, and a lot of times that's where things can be manipulated. And if you look at the past, it's been a major area of resistance at times. So if it gets up to that, especially as extended as it's been from 200, basically straight up, I don't think it's going to be able to get through that easy. And not only is it a major area of resistance just based on a horizontal line, but if you also look just connecting the prior tops in this area, that coincides with 300. So you have a trend line that gets to 300, and you have a horizontal support resistance line that gets to 300 as well. So that's a major inflection point. If Tesla ends up getting to 300, that's going to be a big area of resistance. Now here's the thing. If it gets to 300, gets above it, and then starts to catch more momentum to the upside, you could argue that this is a breakout. And it could be on its way even higher after breaking that trend line. And Tesla tends to kind of do that sometimes. It goes a little bit further than everybody anticipates. So who knows what's going to happen, but 300 is a major level. So as of right now, in my opinion, it looks like Tesla has room up to 300. If it does get there, there's going to be a lot of situations that could happen, but I'm not going to try to predict that. I'm just going to follow price and take it one day at a time. It's very interesting because when it comes to Tesla and Elon, people have a lot of opinions about what's going on, and especially with him and the stock. Regardless of that, I'm interested to know, what is your opinion? Leave it in the comments below.